does my tricep look good in this shot? Oh yeah. Hello, welcome back to another installment of Vlogmas. Today, we're going to go through my 5 favourite books. Not like 5 favourite productivity or business or money, just my 5 favourite books that have had a long-lasting impact in me and my mind and body and soul. They're ingrained in my DNA now. I was emotionally invested in them when I was reading them, and I'm emotionally invested in them to this day, and feel like you need to read them as well. I also feel like this video will help people if they are in need of a new book, and also for gift ideas. See what I've done there? Christmas, Vlogmas. The creative genius strikes again. The Kanye West of the fitness industry, you may say. We shall start with book number 1, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Michaelides. I think he's Greek. Alicia Berenson lived a seemingly perfect life until one day 6 years ago, when she shot her husband in the head 5 times. Bastard. Since then, she hasn't spoken a single word. It's time to find out why, and you need to find out why. This is one of the most gripping, thrilling, exciting, emotional books I've ever read. It's up there. It's almost like, it's not even up there, it's in a league of its own, like sort of Sopranos. See how you've got like other TV series and then Sopranos? This is like other books and then The Silent Patient. I was immediately glued. It was the prior to me finishing, the day prior to me finishing, I read 100 pages, and then I read 50 in the morning. I was on the train, the Sidcup line to London Bridge. I thought, this book doesn't deserve to be finished on a train with crowded people. No. So I came home, I ran a bath, ordered a Chinese, and then I finished it, and it was incredible. You very quickly become invested in all of the characters, even like Yuri, who is this kind of very large, brute-like individual who is the security. It's just like these small characters that you wouldn't really fall in love with, but you do fall in love with, and you start to create that picture in your mind of what they look like. And I can't recommend this book enough. Okay, words can't describe how much you need to read this book. Just take my word for it. Read it. I've already had people that have bought it and can't put it down. Go and do yourself a favour and grab a copy. Book number 2, we have Normal People by Sally Rooney, that should really be titled Connell's Chain. A book that indeed did inspire me to get a chain like Connell, but that's mainly from the BBC 3 series. I think I watched the BBC 3 series, and then I read the book. And if I were to choose between the series or the book wins. Connell and Marianne grow up in the same small town in the west of Ireland, but the similarities end there. In school, Connell is popular and well liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. This book for me was life-changing because it started to break down this barrier that I had, this alpha male, narcissistic, egotistical barrier that I had up for quite a long time in my life. This book, it tore it down. This evoked emotion inside me. I became like a wholesome character. I started liking to do wholesome things just because of this book. It's mad. Book number 3, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. Interesting and provocative, it gives you a sense of perspective on how briefly we've been on this earth. Barack Obama. Like, fucking hell, man. Imagine writing a book and Barack Obama is on the back of it. The reason why it is in my top 5 is because of the eye-opening experience that I got with reading nearly every page. It's absolutely fantastic, and I think most of us, this is the atheist speaking, of course, it's like Big Bang, bit of caveman, and then the man. It's like there's a lot more intricate detail into what happened, and if you are one of those individuals that wants to learn about that and kind of the historical background as to what happened, then I would highly recommend you give Sapiens a read. It is, like I said, a real eye-opener. It's also where I learned about nirvana, about understanding that sense of when something's good, you accept it for being good, and when something's bad, you accept it for being bad. What you don't do is when something's good, you panic and go, oh my God, it's good now, but what if it stops? Get rid of that. Same as if it's bad, you're not like, oh my God, it's going to be bad forever. You just accept it. You ride that wave. That's where I learned about nirvana. Book number 4, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Those that followed my 2021, this year's contest prep journey would have not stopped hearing me bang on about how fantastic this book is. It essentially highlights how if we can make those small 1% changes on a daily basis, that over the duration of 6 to 12 months, for example, it can have such huge positive effects. People think when you want to change your life, you need to think big, but world-renowned habits expert James Clear has discovered another way. He knows that real change comes from the compound effect of hundreds of small decisions, doing 2 push-ups a day, waking up 5 minutes earlier, or reading just 1 more page. He calls them atomic habits. I think what's so great about this book is that the pointers inside it can be applied to any aspect, whether that be day-to-day life or work or relationships or friendships, for example. There's a lot of things that I took from it, like habit tracking, for example. So towards the end of prep, I had that sheet on the fridge, if you remember, and those the ability to tick off or to cross out, give you that psychological release, that reward. So yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic read. The final book, John Kavanagh's Win or Learn. Maybe a little bit biased because I'm such a big Conor McGregor fan, but I think even if you aren't a McGregor fan and just a sports fan in general, then you'll like this book very much. What's nice about this book is, as well as seeing McGregor's rise to top, we get an understanding of the kind of work ethic and mindset and the psychology that goes into, you know, the creation of McGregor, and we get to understand John Kavanagh, which is really nice, and his upbringing. So yeah, like I said, I don't think you need to necessarily be an MMA or McGregor fan. I think if you're a fan of or that is looking to be inspired and have that injection of motivation, then a fantastic read. I feel like now more than ever is a time whereby you need to read this, because I think a lot of people are coming off McGregor a little bit. You know, they're seeing this I mean, I feel like it's almost a facade, these tweets, these outrageous kind of sparks of violence and confrontation, but this book really gives you an insight into what McGregor is really like. Right, that's all from me, folks. That was my top 5 favourite books. There was some that didn't quite make the cut. Maybe we'll do like a top 5 part 2, or do more detailed videos on like my favourite productivity books, my favourite money, fiction. If you're part of the TM Cycles book club, which at the moment is just a made up thing, but it's coming to fruition over the last couple of days, I think I'm going to create a separate Instagram page. It might be quite nice. Those that have read Silent Patient, the next book that we're on to as a book club is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. This is Gail Honeyman's debut. Eleanor Oliphant leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal deal for lunch every day, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. Book of the year, 2 million copies sold. I'm excited for this one. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions about books and that, tap them below. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, good night. Much love.